From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with the latest details on your financial markets, your economy, and of course, your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. As a fourth stimulus check has now landed in every U.S. state, we're going to go over those incredible checks, how to get it in today's recording. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, the Build Back Better Act is heating up with a potential vote this month. That's on top of those four stimulus checks that are coming by direct deposit this June 2022 for the membership of this channel. We'll go over those incredible checks in today's recordings from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Then back over to what the J. Powell group at the Federal Reserve will be doing this week, talking about the FOMC meeting of June 2022. What does it mean for you? Next up, mortgage rates. The major details about those surging mortgage numbers in view of the housing data released just today for May 30th, 2022. You're going to be shocked. Then a major deal hatched on that oil on Sunday may bring your price of Brent crude internationally, currently last week at 111 to 185 a barrel. Are you ready to feel the pinch at the pump? I have the latest details in today's Afternoons LALATE from the shores of Santa Monica, California. But the great news is that a fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state, and as you come back from Memorial Day weekend, you need this check. Today, for May 30th, as we go into the month of June, we're going to go over this fourth stimulus check coming by direct deposit in the month of June. We're going to go over the Build Back Better Act, those big money in there, the SS300, the student loan debt forgiveness, and then where there's economists going. It's a great day, and we have a lot of money. Stay to the very end. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. And Step 3, stay with me over this incredible broadcast as we go over those incredible sums of money. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, the excitement of America's most beloved show at Afternoons starts in just a second. But first, subscribe, become a member, and get that fourth stimulus check coming up later in this recording. We'll go over all the incredible details of how you get this money. It's Afternoons LALATE, and the details start right now, right here, for May 30th, 2022, on Afternoons. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. It's May 30th, 2022. As we go into the month of June, we have big checks for you, huge checks, upwards of $85,000. Single, married, young, without children, with children, rent or own. I got big checks for you. They're coming up in today's recording. Stay with me over this big broadcast. We're going to go over these incredible checks, and there's big surprises later in this recording. Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. And Step 3, get ready for these four stimulus checks now in every U.S. state. It's coming up later in this recording. But first, we're going to start with the Build Back Better Act, the latest details on that, the economic numbers that came out today that impact Build Back Better Act, what's going on with that student loan debt forgiveness, what's going on with the sixth stimulus, and then what's going on with J. Powell and that Federal Reserve. We start today with the news that I broke last Friday. If you remember, this channel is very important to always be in touch with everything that's happening. And late Friday night, going into Memorial Day weekend, I said a major developing story was happening. The price of gasoline, international Brent crude, had surged out of control this last Friday before Memorial Day weekend started, from 114 a barrel to 122. I said, what's going on here? Immediately, I checked my notes, and everything I had said the week before actually was happening. When we talked about Nancy Pelosi in 2020, she always used those words, imminent, around the corner, tomorrow, just right happening today. And we always laugh them off because nothing ever happened. Well, that's not how they talk apparently in Europe. Because last week, the head of the European Commission said in just days, they're going to reach a deal on oil. And I said, sure. Sure, it's just going to be within days. Well, it was within days. It was actually within hours. And they had the deal announced on Friday. And they said this last Sunday they're going to sign it into law in Brussels. A deal to ban Russian oil finally from all the Western allies. I know it took them a few months, all the way from March, all the way up to June. But here came the announcement. And that is why the price of Brent crude surged out of control Friday, Sunday higher. And as we go into a brand new week, it's going even higher. Where are we today? This is breaking news, folks. The European Commission has signed that deal that will now ban Russian oil in all the Western allies with the exception of 3 countries that got waivers: Slovakia, Russia, and the Czech Republic. This is going to really be impacting you at the pump starting tomorrow. The price of gasoline for the international Brent crude surged from about 114 to suddenly 123 upon the news. Then it continued to surge higher. How high is it going to go? This is breaking news you're hearing for the first time ever on LA. I had said to you yesterday that with the changing, developing details of this major announcement on Sunday, and China coming off a lockdown, I predict it's going to go to about 130 a barrel from about 114 last week. Here is what some analysts are now saying: 185. Oh boy. Okay. So now, as if that's not scaring you enough. Do you need another shot of coffee? Yeah, I need. Yeah, need another shot of coffee. If to not scare you enough, let me tell you what's hitting like a double whammy at the same time. Yeah, China's coming off of lockdown today. China's coming off of lockdown today and tomorrow, and the deal on the oil is being reached at the same time. Oh boy, that stings. Here we go. So you think you are paying a lot at the pump? Take that number and increase it by 20%. Yeah, this is a major changing of the guard. What's going on? Well, the Russian deal, the deal to ban Russian oil was solidified by the EU leaders on Sunday, as I had predicted they were going to do last week, but I didn't think they were going to come in that quickly. The deal was hatched, and of course, it was only delayed for just a few hours by Hungary, which is a big fan of Russia, but they got it. They are banning 75% of they're banning all Russian oil, but they're banning 75% of Russian oil imports. They are not banning natural gas. Let me make that very clear. For many of my international viewers, you're worried you're not going to have natural gas to heat your home in the winter. They didn't do that. The European Council agrees the 6th package of sanction. Here's why I call it 6th stimulus package. And against Russia, which will cover crude oil as well as petroleum products delivered from Russia into member states, with the exception of crude oil delivered by pipeline, said the statement released today, which is actually tomorrow, obtained by LA News just right now. This shutdown of Russian oil, according to JP Morgan, could bring the price to $185 a barrel. Did you ever need a stimulus check? Oh boy, you're really going to need one now. If you thought inflation needed to cause you to have a stimulus check, this recording's going to need you to have a stimulus check. You can't even get past the 2-minute mark of the video. I need a stimulus check right now. You're scaring the socks off of me. Well, I'm not scaring you. I'm just telling you the reality. 118 a barrel is what the international price of Brent crude was last week. Then by the end of the week, it went to 123. Now they're saying it's going to go to 185. I said yesterday it could go to 135 when China comes off of lockdown. So what's China doing? They're coming off of lockdown. Yeah, it's just like a double whammy. This is why you don't go away for the weekend, because you come back and you're drunk and you're like, what I miss? Oh my God, they're selling the house. Yeah, they're selling the house. Here we go. So China is on lockdown. So that's one of the major things is coming out of lockdown tomorrow, which is basically today. It's Wednesday China time, and here we go. So they are one of the major consumers of gasoline. The shortage will increase. The shortage will then drive up the prices higher. And then there's no gasoline to replace it with. Isn't that charming? Is that charming? How much gasoline we're missing? We're missing 2.5 million barrels a day. 2.5 million barrels a day. And do they have a solution set up to offset this? No, of course not. Of course not. No one in the Western Allies has a solution set up to offset this. And this is after China comes off of lockdown, starting on Wednesday. It's just one of those days. And Hungary was trying to block it, but President Ursula von der Leyen said, no, it's Brussels, and we do sugar-free Brussels sprouts and Brussels cake there. We need something crazy like that, especially when we're going to 185 a barrel and we have no replacement. How bad is this going to be at the pump? It's going to be really bad. How does this translate to you and your wallet at the pump? Expect an average gasoline price in the United States of $7, $8. It's going to keep on going higher. If you thought it's ridiculous at $4, ridiculous at $5 a gallon, ridiculous at $6, how about $8? It's just the price is wrong. It's a new game show. It's a new game show with your host Vladimir Putin. There you go. This is why you need a forced stimulus check yesterday. A forced stimulus check is dramatically needed because this Russian oil situation is good long term. Short term, not good. With this embargo of the Russian oil, and now China coming off of lockdown this Wednesday, all within the same week, that means you cannot afford something you already couldn't afford back in the month of March. These numbers are surging out of control, and that is why you need to get a forced stimulus check. And that is why, back in the month of March, I found that check for you. These forced stimulus checks are in every U.S. state, and in this recording, I'm going to go over how you get them. How you get them right today. Not 5 weeks out, not 5 months out, right today. Because you want to fill up your car with gasoline right now, park it, not drive it for the next 3 months and start cashing some more stimulus checks because this is out of control. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So who is Joe Biden meeting in the White House today? I want to pull off this joke the right way and not butcher it. The White House is inviting new advocates for student loan debt forgiveness at the White House today. Who are they? The Korean boy band. BTS. BTS is coming to the White House today to advocate for student loan debt forgiveness. No, they aren't. They're just going there to teach Joe some new dance moves for, when he doesn't get Joe Manchin to do what he wants. Why is BTS in the Oval Office? Because they're renaming the Build Back Better Act the BTS Act. It still won't pass. Excuse me, why is the president inviting BTS? I adore BTS. I absolutely adore them. I credit them to my ability for my health recovery because I really did listen to their music and sang it off key, and it just made me feel so much better. I adore their songs. Dynamite is sort of one of those songs that I sing to myself every time Mitch McConnell comes on camera. Explosion. Butter is a song that I sing to myself every time that Joe Manchin comes on camera and he's talking to Joe Biden. Butter him up, butter him up. There we go. And permission to dance. That's every time that you think about a San Francisco hairstyle and you're like, no, permission to dance. You have permission to dance with that. BTS is in the Oval Office because we don't have student loan debt forgiveness debt. We haven't called the Social Security Administration ahead to swap COLA for inflation. We haven't got to the Build Back Better Act done just yet. But, why not improve the music in the iPhone, in the iPads, the Oval Office? If you got nothing else to achieve this week, at least you upgrade the music on rotation. I just don't know. I know I'm going off a tangent. I just don't understand why the president of all weeks, this is the week he's inviting BTS to the Oval Office. Can we invite BTS to the Oval Office and let's all dance when we pass the Build Back Better Act? You can have James Corbin do it, and we just do it BTS has been on James Corbin 900 times, and they just jump on top of things, and they're always jumping on top of desks and jumping on top of tractor trailers. They can jump on top of the Oval, on top of this. They can jump on top of this furniture and just sort of celebrate the passage of the Build Back Better Act. Why? Because when the Build Back Better Act passes, we need to celebrate. 3 causes and 3 add-ons that pay you $15,000 to $80,000, and there's so much to celebrate in there, with the exception of the paid leave, which Joe Manchin's going to take out. So no, we're not going to celebrate that. With the exception of the money for seniors, the dental, vision, and hearing. No, we wouldn't dance on that one. Maybe it's good we're bringing back BTS right now before Joe Manchin butchers the Build Back Better Act, I do believe that all those otherwise great provisions in there are going to survive. And I'm going to cover more about them tonight on Evenings LA. In fact, also on Evenings LA, I'll see which song that the president sung in the White House. Coming up tonight. Yeah, the world's just going screwy. It's just going screwy. We aren't getting student loan debt forgiveness done, and let's distract it by bringing in a boy band. The student loan debt forgiveness really heated up before the Memorial Day weekend. And why was it? Because the president really he rolled his dice, and then he basically didn't move, sort of like Mitch McConnell every time that a BTS song comes on, doesn't move, doesn't know how to dance. Joe Biden did not move on that student loan debt forgiveness number since day one of his administration. So what did he do? I'm going to be blunt with this. I'm not going to mince my words. He toyed with people. Joe Biden, you toyed with people on the student loan debt forgiveness. If you never want to do more than $10,000, just do it, and then do it by executive order. I mean, just do it. Have Miguel Cardona do it. Joe Biden played with everyone on student loan debt forgiveness. He played with us. And shame on you, Joe Biden. If you didn't want to do another number, just do it. I mean, you're not elected to just toy with people for 2 years. You toyed with people. Number one, you told them, Miguel Cardona, go figure out how to forgive student loan debts when you were going to do $10,000. You said, let me think about it. I'll look at the situation when you had already decided on $10,000. You invited people to the White House last week who were not going to accept $10,000 to tell them $10,000, and they said, no, we're not doing $10,000. I'm not against the number $10,000. I'm against someone toying with us, and you should have done that and moved on to something else, like learning the lyrics to Butter. There was so much else you could have achieved in the last year and a half that you were toying with the American people on $10,000. Just do the $10,000 and move on. It's just, there was always going to be people upset with the offer. What is the status on this? The status is Mitch can still not dance to BTS. Yes. The status is that the $10,000 offer on the table is not formalized because there is so much anger about it. In fact, they're protesting. They're calling it a slap in the face. The offer is $10,000 for individuals who make $150,000 or less, and families who make $300,000 or less. What do I think is going to happen? I think he's just going to, pass it out and make it law on a Friday night at 7:00 one week, and just move on to another situation. He should have done this months ago, and it's just sort of blowing up in his face. So. Who else is in the Oval Office today? In the Oval Office today is not just is not just not just Rap Monster. If you don't know who Rap Monster is, RM, that is the leader of the group. The leader of the group. That. How do you become the leader of BTS? You speak English, so you can tell Joe Manchin, pass the Build Back Better Act. That's how you get to become leader of BTS. So you can speak English to tell Joe Manchin, what are you doing here, Joe? Come on, let's do this Build Back Better Act. Who is the White House inviting today? Two groups of people. One, the group of BTS, and second, J-Pop. I cannot make this up. We're ending Memorial Day weekend with a bang, and the bang is Jay Powell's coming to the Oval Office either before or after BTS. I don't. This is what's happening with Jay Powell. He's going to come in after BTS is there. And he says, everyone's revved up. You're all too elevated. You're all at new highs. I got to bring you down. I'm going to raise interest rates. You're all dancing. You're all too motivated. This is what we don't allow here. You're too elevated, like inflation. I need to bring you down by raising some more interest rates. Why is Jay Powell in the Oval Office? Again, it's optics, but it's really bad optics. If I was Ron Klain, the president's chief of staff, I would never even have Jay Powell anywhere in the Oval Office. Why? Hi, Jay Powell. Let's introduce our Fed head. He's the guy who's about to do a half basis point increase in the month of July, half basis point in the month of June, a quarter basis in the month of August. Your inflation is not coming down. Supply chain disruption is still here. And he's the guy I nominated. Yeah, I would not want a photo opportunity with this guy. I would not. I would stay far away. Why? Because Jay Powell is responsible for the inflation going higher, for misguiding on inflation, for raising your interest rates, for sending you into recession. And 76% of Americans associate, blame Joseph Biden for what Jay Powell's done. It's very much in the polls. Americans blame the economic problems that are at hand right now on Joe Biden that were caused by Jay Powell. If you have higher interest rates, they're blaming Joe Biden. If you have higher if you have elevated inflation that was misguided in 2021, they blame Joe Biden. And then if you have higher mortgage rates, they blame Joe Biden. This is all Jay Powell's fault. And what do? You hug him and you smile together. You take a picture together. Yeah, that's exactly the person you stay far away from. So all the cachet he's getting from BTS, he should just basically sidestep out and butter out himself out the side door of the Oval Office before Jay Powell comes. Jay Powell coming to the Oval Office today will just solidify that the president really, with his pick of Jay Powell last year, got it wrong. And the situation is very fluid. Now, tonight on Amy's LA, we're going to have a big primetime special about where this money is. I know that it looks like a hot mess express in today's video. Isn't it always? Isn't it always? But the fact that that rap monster will hopefully ease the tensions in the Oval Office. Maybe Rap Monster RM can go over to the Congress and speak to Joe Manchin and give him some dynamite. Then we can get that Build Back Better Act out the door. But you don't need to wait for any of this. Why? Because BTS is coming to a city near you? No, because of the incredible news is that a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. I have found that forced stimulus check for you, and it is huge. It's coming up late in the second half of this recording. Forced stimulus check in every U.S. state, and how do you get it? It's coming up in just a second. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. After the commercial break, we're also going to go over where this economy is going and why it's going down very quickly, and how the confusion of economic downturn confuses so many people. You may not understand what a recession is. You may not understand what inflation is. You may not understand what stagflation is. But you understand it's impacting you negatively. I'll be looking at what the data shows us today that's brand new, that we didn't have just yesterday. And it's data that shows that people are spending based upon an idea that everything is going to still stay good. Unfortunately, it's not. And I'll explain to you why in the second half. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, get ready for the second half. In the second half, we are going to sidestep into a forced stimulus check now in every U.S. state. It's huge. And what do you need to know? What you need to know is that these checks were done by the President of the United States. They're for you, single individuals, married couple, with children, without children. On benefits, not on benefits. Red states, blue states, they are everywhere. And they're absolutely incredible. Plus, I have a commentary more about these checks you've never seen before until this afternoon show. And with that, we'll be going over all that incredible sums of money and what you need to know be going into tonight's Evenings LA. It's a big show for May 30th, 2022. See you back in 60 seconds as Afternoons LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. and then afternoons LA Late at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late. And the excitement continues right now in the big second half of Afternoons LA from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It is May 30th, 2022, as we're about to start the month of June, and those June direct deposit of 4 stimulus checks are coming. I'll go over how to get those incredible checks in this big second half. Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Step 3, get that newsletter Monday through Friday via the YouTube alert system. And Step 4, stay with me in the second half. We're going to go over all these incredible checks. Then we'll be turning to the recessionary pressures at issue and what it means for the rest of this economy, and why that data that came in from the housing market today signals that we are really in a bubble-like environment about to hit to a recession. But first, let's get some checks. Let's get lots of checks, and they start right now. Back in the month of March, 2022, viewers were saying to me, can you find me a check? And I said, sure, let me look. A 4 stimulus check? Let me look. And I found it. Lots of them in every U.S. state. If you're new to this channel, let me tell you what you're watching. This is the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, with the number 1 most watched show in prime time every night for financial news, evenings LA at 5 o'clock. I go over the latest of the economy and where it's going, but more importantly, I also get you stimulus. I get you stimulus. I don't report on the stimulus. I actually get it for you. I search high and low and I find it for you. So the breadth of the coverage you have when it comes to stimulus, you ain't going to see anywhere else. You're not going to see it in your local news, your cable news, your print, your other YouTube channels. You're only going to see it here. That's what happened in March. Viewers said, "Alec, can you find us checks?" And I did. I looked high and low. These are the checks I found for you. First, let's go over eligibility. As a longtime viewer, Kat said in the live chat on Evenings LA last weekend, "Alec, you're so good on eligibility." These are checks for you. If you're $75,000 or less annual income, single individual, married couple, $150,000 or less. If you rent or you own, you have children, you don't have children, and there we go. Let's get to them right now. These are monster checks, and where did I find them? How did they happen? They happened via executive order from Joseph Biden and also from your states. There's a lot of ways to get you stimulus, and the ways involve Congress, hasn't happened yet, the president has happened, and the states has happened. And let's go over those incredible checks starting right now. Remember, these are monster checks. I don't subscribe for small little puny checks that run out in a few days. I go for big monster checks. And let's look at those big checks starting right now. The first check is $6,500 to $12,000. It's a check A. It's a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. $75,000 less, single individual, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, RB or similar, go get it. How do you get it? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. The link to become a member is under the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then go down to that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and find Check A right at the top. There it is. Click the link in the Check A, and that link to apply goes right into the nationwide website. You choose your state, and you pounce. It's the Home Weatherizing Grant Check. Click it, and you're done. $6,500 to $12,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. But we ain't done there yet. The next check you're going to get is Check B, a $15,000 to $80,000  4 stimulus check. That is not a typographical error. It is very much the case. Viewers are getting on average $66,000 to $80,000. When was the last time someone got you an $80,000 stimulus check? Probably never until you found this channel. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. This is called the Homeowners Grant. How do you get this? So simple. Subscribe, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP member. Then go down and get that membership newsletter delivered to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go down the newsletter till you find Check B, click the link, and apply, and you got it. There you go. Now let's go to the next check you can get, and that's for my renters, Check C. It is a $2,000 over 12-month average check, MSC, baby. These multiple or monthly or multiple stimulus checks are huge. Viewers have been getting this for a long time. This is third stimulus. This is the residue of third stimulus, but I've renamed it fourth stimulus. How long have viewers been getting these checks? For over nearly 2 years. It started in December 2020 when I showed people how to get these checks in the middle of the pandemic. Then when third stimulus became law, I said, guess what? The same checks are now been added to the third stimulus, just a lot more money of it. And I said, let's go get them. And what did viewers do? They got monster sums of money. Let's look at the sums of money that viewers have been getting from Check C for nearly 2 years. $20,000 to $30,000 for rent, up to $15,000 for utilities, like Mark's brother-in-law, $25,000 a year over 10 years for SNAP, like Mark's brother-in-law. Here's Nisi. She was at $23,000. She's in all the live chats nightly. Now she keeps on getting $8,000 every few weeks. She's over $30,000. Here's Mark at $32,000. Actually, Nisi's over $50,000. Mark went from $32,000 to $50,000, then to $100,000, now at $166 because he got check B. And here's Lorraine. She went from $105 to $120 and keeps on getting big sums of money. Let's recap some of the nuances of that starting right now. Step 1, subscribe. Go right on this video and hit that subscribe button. Step 2, become a member. The member link is right on the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Make sure you sign up for that membership. Then get that membership newsletter delivered to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. At 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you'll likely get 2 YouTube alerts. The first one will be about stream stimulus, the video airing at that time, and then the newsletter. It'll say new LALATE post. It'll say right there, LALATE newsletter. And then right below it says click here to open the post. You go right into that new LALATE post. There it is. There's the entire newsletter. Check A, B, C, and more. Now, if you have questions about how to manipulate the newsletter, how to open the newsletter, where it is, and everything else about it, send me a private message on Facebook at facebook.com/LALATE news. And I will send you what's been reported as a very, very helpful video. I've had absolutely rave reviews for viewers. It's a special help-to video about how to use the newsletter, and I will send it to you. Again, that's at facebook.com/LALATE news. I think my turnaround time on responding to people is less than about 5 hours, sometimes 8 hours on a weekend, but really quick turnaround time. So I'm very, very proud of that. And there you go. Now, I want to go into a couple of other things to go over with these fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state. 99.99% of you do it right, and there's always a 1 or 2% that does things wrong. And so I want to ensure that the wrong does not proliferate anymore. Some people just do things wrong, and I don't know why. When I make the videos and I go over the fourth stimulus checks, you gotta do it exactly like I said in the video. There's no version of what I say in the video. So step 1 is you must become a member. There's some people who are faking their members. Not going to fake it with me. Don't fake you're a member. The most obvious way to fake a membership to me is you say, I made a phone call for Check B. No, you're not calling for Check B. You're not calling for Check A. There are online applications. There's no one to answer the phone for Check A. There's no one to answer the phone for Check B. You're applying online. Number 2, there are some people when they get to A or B, where they are describing things that make no sense. In the case of B, someone recently said something like, had not launched in my state, had not gone live. Yes, it's live in every U.S. state. And that person again made a phone call. That's why you don't digress from what I say in the videos. You follow along exactly what I say. A, go in the membership newsletter, click the link. B, go in the membership newsletter, click the link. C, go in the membership newsletter. I tell you the 15 places to make a phone call for. And that brings me to the Check C examples. This is the most common example of where someone goes, digresses from how I teach it on this channel. And you know what I'm about to say. In the case of Check C, they don't make the 15 phone calls. They make one call and they call it a day. And they say, you know, I made one call and I got a no and I stopped. Well, good. You don't deserve money. Did I say that bluntly? I did say that bluntly. You don't deserve money. If you make one phone call and you stop, then you don't deserve money, because I've said on the videos for this channel for 2 years that you have about a 50% rejection rate. So you have to make enough phone calls to get some yeses. Next, anyone that does not read the newsletter and just sort of glances over it will do it wrong. Here's an example when we're talking about Check C. In the case of Check C, I tell you exactly what to say. Why am I laughing? Because this feels exactly like 2020. I've been making the same version of this recording since 2020. In 2020, I had people saying the wrong stuff. And I said, stop it. Say exactly what I say in the videos. Rent assistance because of COVID. Utility assistance because of COVID. Mortgage assistance because of COVID. Don't say, and I used to have a whole list of things don't say. I just stopped saying don't say. Just say these words. I just record the positive. Just say these words. Don't say something else like, lobster teeny. Well, guess what happened? In the last few days, a few people have said, I picked up the phone and I asked for Check C and they didn't know what I'm talking about. Well, of course they don't know what you're talking about. I specifically say just use these words, and Check C is not among the words. When you and I talk, we have our own way of talking and communicating as part of the Purple Power community. And as the Purple Power community is our way that you and I understand what's going on. But when I get to the specifics of a check and how to get it, I say do it exactly this way. So don't go off script. Don't improvise. Don't do a version of what I say. Hi, I'm calling up as a Purple Hawk. Where's my Purple Hawk money? Excuse me, sir? What's a Purple Hawk? Is that the boy band group that's going to the White House tomorrow? Is that another group out of South Korea? The Purple Hawks? Don't do a version of what I say in the recordings. And if you don't listen, I don't know what to say other than turn down the BTS music. It's too loud. That's why you can't hear me. Now let's go back to Joe. Joe and that student loan debt forgiveness is a debacle, and I don't know what's going to happen of it. I think he's just going to go with the $10,000. I think the $50,000 is just going to blow up in his face, and I don't know how long he's going to belabor the subject matter. Next, Jay Powell. Jay Powell is going to be in the White House, and he's going to say the typical thing you expect Jay Powell to say. And I'm going to have it tonight on Eden's LA. Jay Powell's going to say, I'm getting inflation down to 2% later this year. That's like me saying, I'm getting Mitch McConnell to be able to dance to butter by December. It's just never happening. It's just never happening. I can't even get Mitch McConnell to dance to 1920s ballet music. It's just never happening. Jay Powell's not going to get inflation down to 2%. And that is what CBO, the Department of Labor, all confirming my numbers going into the weekend. If you missed that, let me recap. This is big. First, I had said that inflation was to stay hot at 8% and not come down despite what Jay Powell's doing with his moves. And now I also said that inflation would track at about 4% later this year. Well, guess what the CBO and the Department of Labor have now said? You're right, LA. It's going to come in at 3.8% by December. That's big if you're on benefits. Why? Because if Joe makes that swap from COLA to inflation, a rap monster, pick up the phone and give it to the president when you're in the Oval Office. Joe, call Social Security. Why, rap monster? Well, if you do, I will autograph a lobster for Mitch. Yeah, you just give him the phone when you're in the Oval Office. Say, hey, make that swap from COLA to inflation. Make the swap from COLA to inflation. And, I just sense by the end of this video, everyone's going to be looking up stimulus checks and Rap Monster. They'd be like, who is this person, Rap Monster? And V. And then I'll say, go look up V. And they're like, V, how do you spell that? V, how do you spell that? V. VEE? No, V. Just go. Yeah, this is very confusing. Yeah, it is very confusing. This is why you have James Corbin do this type of stuff, not me. James Corbin has booked BTS more than the president, so I guess that shows you how the government's going. So there you go. Then we have that GDP. The GDP shows where this economy is going, and it ain't going anywhere good. The numbers out of labor and CBO going into the weekend shows that my guidance on this numbers are correct as well. I've been saying that the U.S. economy is shrinking, that the growth is shrinking, all because of Jay Powell, and that we're going into recession for 2 years starting next year. To determine a recession, we have to have 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. So we did shrink, and how much are we going to shrink? Well, we're somewhere around 6.9% right now. We're shrinking down to 1 or 2% by start of next year, says CBO and Department of Labor. That's right on the money, because I say we're going to zero by the end of this year and negative thereafter. And that would signal full-on recession starting in next year. So what is the president preparing to do for the recession? Improve his dance moves. Yeah. That is why I need you to get every stimulus check that's available right now. There's going to be a stimulus stampede in 90 days out from now. It's June, July, August. Pencil in August, because by August, you're going to have that stimulus stampede. I'm going to feature more about the stimulus stampede in prime time tonight. It's important to know that the financial carnage is what Silicon Valley is referring to, is far more scary than what I just call stimulus stampede. Stimulus stampede sounds like people running, but financial carnage sounds a lot worse. Let me give you my insight into it right now. As we finish Memorial Day weekend, what did we see, at least here in Southern California? Everyone has their own opinion or impact on what they're seeing. But what I saw was no commerce in the middle class working America environment. All the businesses that are dependent upon working class people showing up in the stores and buying products, empty. High-end, busy. High-end traveling, busy. Flying to that beautiful destination for Memorial Day weekend, busy. Low-end, not so much. And so what I see is that, and I'm not the only one that is reporting this today, that people really spent a lot of money on gasoline over this Memorial Day weekend, last Memorial Day weekend, thinking that good times are here to stay. They spent money on luxury items, thinking good times are here to stay. They departed from their businesses and hope to come back after Memorial Day weekend with a full slot of money in the register. Good times are here to stay. This is what Jay Powell will be saying in the White House. And I gotta say to you, this is a very, very complicated situation. That consumer spending is really out of control based upon the valuation of how much money people are making, how much they're saving, and how much it's costing to live. Let me say it simpler. People are spending as much money they spent in 2021, even more. They're spending perhaps more than they've ever spent in the last 3 years, more than 2021, more than 2020, more than 2019. And yet they are making just about only 2% more, number one. Second, they're in fear of potentially losing their jobs as the downturn of the economy is happening. Number three, the price of goods are going through the roof and they're spending the money on those prices of goods. And number four, they are really going for high end. They are buying high end, thinking that everything is going to be always there to help them. Well, I'm here to help you now. And there's money right now. 90 days from now, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen 90 days from now. And that is why you need to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Stimulus stampede, yes, it's going to come. How severe? It's going to be very severe. The downward spiral of this economy will be very severe. That is why you want to become a member and stay a member. Step one, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe right now. What are you waiting? Step two, become a member. What are you waiting for? You deserve membership right now. Get that emoji behind your name of a purple hawk. And you need these checks ASAP. If you think your situation is sort of lukewarm, not that good at the moment, get ready, because 2 years of horribleness are on the horizon as we're spiraling into recession. I need to get those big sums of money across the board. Meantime, join me tonight on Eden's LALATE in prime time. It's America's most watched show for financial news of a lot of data, because you know what? Everyone's back in town, and there's going to be a lot of new data by tonight. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, thank you for joining me on Afternoons LALATE. I see you tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time as America's most watched show for prime time for financial news heats up. It's Evenings LALATE, coming up next on LALATE.